This is the Experienced Optimist. And today, guys, I have an article from the National Review. Now, if anyone knows anything about the National Review is a conservative online newspaper. And the reason why I chose this is because I'm not a conservative guy, I'm not a liberal guy. I don't believe any man at this current time in history should fall under any ideology, because most oftentimes that ideology is used to control men. And in this article, this is a perfect example of that. And I don't want you guys to think that I'm bad-mouthing conservatism, because I have another article. It's a liberal article, and this one's pretty bad, man. It's talking about attacking masculinity by getting rid of pronouns, and it's basically talking about the benefits of emasculation. But that's for another video. This one, we'll be talking about how some traditional conservatives try to shame men into getting married. And the article starts out, "Hey guys, put a ring on it." It shows a picture of a happy couple trying to make it seem like marriage is the way to go. It continues, "Married men are healthier, wealthier, and happier with their sex lives." Now, we all know through experience that that is not the case. Now, it starts out promising. First paragraph, it says, "Marriage is not worth it." Excuse me. It's not worth the financial sacrifices, the lost sexual opportunities, and the lack of freedom. All in all, it's a ball and chain of little benefit to any man interested in pursuing happiness and well-being. This is the view that we've encountered from many young men of late, which is true and is a good thing because men are starting to wake up. Take Craig, a 29-year-old guy who saw online lecture of Will Cox's on marriage and men. In his words, "I would much rather buy a $75,000 condo by the beach in Florida, working 10 to 20 hours a week with plenty of time and money to relax at the beach, sail, play golf and tennis, as well as hang out with friends, than marry a 30-year-old woman and take care of her into old age by working 50 hours a week at a job I don't like." And herein lies the problem that society has with men that think like this. If a man thinks like this, he does what's best for him. He goes MGTOW. He doesn't spend a lot of money frivolously. He focuses on connecting with the people that he likes, doing the things that he wants to do. And notice, if every man were to do this, society would be much happier. You'd probably be less likely going around and trying to compete with other men, because you know exactly what you like. You don't need to compete at a job, working 50, 60 hours, trying to undercut somebody to make money for a woman who ultimately does not appreciate you. So I like that. It says, Craig further stressed that he is in excellent physical condition because he isn't tied down to a regular 9 to 5 job like most married men. The fact is, my 6-pack abs have gotten me far more sex with high quality women in their prime than a man's 6-figure income ever will. And I have to say, this is true. Women love 6-pack abs. And I've noticed that women will be with guys that are providing for them. And then they'll be in a situation where they went to a party or something like that. And there's guys there with 6-pack abs. Or you'll see this a lot when women go overseas, where European dudes are a lot slimmer and they got 6-pack abs. And they'll bang those dudes. I've seen it myself. He continues, the sex is passionate and did not require begging like married men often have to do, as the women are physically attracted to me rather than just interested in my ability to provide. Very true. So then the article goes on and it calls the guy 6-pack Craig to disparage him, actually. And then it goes on to tout the benefits of being married. So in one part of the article it says that marriage is worth the sacrifice. And it says it's worth the sacrifice because they say that married men on average make more. I guess like $16,000 more, something in that range. $60,000 and higher, I guess. But what they neglect to tell you is that you have to make that extra money because of the extra expense that your wife puts on you, those social outings that you have to pay for, all those stupid social contracts in terms of people you don't like going on excursions with them, you know, your wife's friends that you barely talk to but she wants you to hang around with, neighborhood meetings, and all this other nonsense. So all this extra stuff costs money. So then you have to put in more hours at work and compete with other simp blue pill men in order to make that extra money. So more money, we know that that's false. Then it goes on to say that married men, which we know is a lie, have better sex. This is nonsense. They say that the frequency of the sex is more, like 2 times a week or so. But what they neglect to mention is that this frequency doesn't remain high for most, if not all, married men. The frequency not only dwindles, but the passion dwindles once a woman knows she has you. And the man that's out and about, who doesn't put his whole being into getting pussy, but rather facilitating what he wants out of life, is much happier. See, the thing is with sex is not the end-all be-all of life. And once a man realizes that, especially a MGTOW man, he finds other things to keep him occupied. And he can get into hobbies and opportunities that can benefit not only himself, but the community around him. For example, I remember when I was in Ibiza, partying my ass off, I met a guy and he told me something I never forgot. He said, there are 2 ways you can be rich, in life. You can just go out and try to make as much money as possible, or you can do things that build up your social capital. Things like traveling around the world, helping the less fortunate. What he used to do is he used to go to third world countries and build wells and build infrastructure. And he told me that that was more rewarding than any money that he had made in his life. So there's more to life than just banging chicks. Ask Matt Lauer. He'll tell you. He knows now. If you guys don't know, Matt Lauer is the guy who just got accused of sexual allegations. I guess he may have raped some person allegedly, some woman allegedly. I think there's some other sexual allegations against him, so it caught up with him. He got fired. He's losing millions of dollars. So anyway, sex is not the most important thing, which the article tries to make you believe. Now the third one, excuse me, good health. Now they try to make you believe that if you're married, you have better health than your single counterparts. And this is absolutely not true. So when I traveled, and I said this in other videos, I met a lot of guys that were either divorced or never got married, and they loved their life being single. Now they say that when you're married, you have better health. And let me read a bit from this part, because you guys have to listen to this. It makes nagging a good thing. So let's see here. It says, what gives? Okay. Simply put, the companionship, support, and gentle encouragement, get this, marriage cynics might call it nagging, that a spouse provides translates into better physical health. So they're trying to tell men that a nagging, psychologically abusive wench, when she's nagging you, it benefits you health-wise in the long run. What a bunch of nonsense. See, the thing is this. What I've come to realize now is that, and other men have told me this as well, it's much better to live life on your own terms, enjoy life, have great experiences, and die young than to live tons of years being depressed and living out a mediocre existence. There was once a quote. It said, most men live a life of quiet desperation. Something like that. And that's what I found that most men do. They don't travel. They stop reading. They stop growing as men. And that's something that as MGTOW men we can never do. We have to keep on living. We don't want to live a life of quiet desperation. On our deathbed, we want to look back and say, man, I did it. Not only did I lived a life that I'm proud of, I lived a life where I actually benefited other people in a positive way. So that's what the article says. So that was the third one, good health, which we all know is nonsense. Then it goes on to talk about divorce. And it tries to turn the divorce against the man, turn around on the man. So here it says about 42% of first marriages end in divorce. Most divorces are initiated by women. This means that many men who marry will end up unwillingly divorced. These men obviously don't realize much of a return on their investments in married life. So, if most of the divorces are initiated by women, how is it the men's fault that they didn't realize the return on their investments of married life? And this is the shame that comes from the article. First, it tries to lie to you and tell you the benefits of marriage, which we all know are false. Then it tries to tell you that if you get divorced, it's because you don't recognize the benefits of marriage. But anyway, that's the end of the article. I wanted to share that with you guys. If you like this video, give a thumbs up, subscribe. Support other MGTOW channels. If you have a MGTOW topic that you want me to cover, you can go ahead and give me an email. If you would like to donate, become a patron. The links are in the description box. And I'll talk to you later.